Hello, dear students. Today we will be studying a poem in English literature. The title of the poem is Cradle Song, written by Sarojini Naidu. Students, the four main literary genres are poetry, fiction, non-fiction, and drama, with each varying in style, structure, subject matter, and usage of figurative language. Today we will be studying a poem, so let's understand what is a poem.
What is poetry? Poetry is a piece of writing written by an author called a poet. But what is the purpose of poetry? A poem is written using rhythm, rhyme, and other artistic language to show feelings and emotions. It's often short, but some poets write long poems too. Rhythm and rhyme are a part of many poems. Rhythm is the beat or sound pattern of a poem. Lots of poets use repetition and similar word sounds to create the beat or rhythm. Here's an example. A candy bar, a piece of cake, a lollipop, a chocolate shake. Many poems that have rhythm also have rhyme. Rhyme is having the same sound at the end of two or more words, like bike, hike, and rad, dad. Our poem from earlier has rhyme with the words cake and shake, and it makes me feel hungry. Another common element of poetry is alliteration. Alliteration is when the consonant sound is repeated at the beginning of words. Like Tracy the tiger made a terrifying sound. There are many types of poems that poets write. Some common poems are acrostic, couplet, haiku, limerick, narrative, free verse, humorous, and lyrical. A narrative poem tells a story. There are characters, problems, solutions, and a beginning, middle, and end. Free verse poetry doesn't follow a pattern. You won't see rhythm or rhyme in these poems. Humorous poems are funny, silly, and make us laugh. Lyrical poems express feelings and emotions. They're sometimes sing-songy with their rhythm. Let's look at an example. I have a little frog. His name is Tiny Tim. I put him in the bathtub to see if he could swim. He drank up all the water and gobbled up the soap. And when he tried to talk, he had a bubble in his throat. Let's look for some poetry elements in this humorous poem. Here we see rhyme, rhythm, alliteration, and a character. We know that a poem is written by a poet using rhythm, rhyme, and other artistic language to show feelings and emotions. Poems are usually short, but they can be long too. Listen for descriptions and decide how the poem makes you feel. It could be silly, or sad, or even glad.
Before we begin with the poem, let us know something about the poet. Sarojini Naidu was born on 13 February 1879. As a child, Sarojini was a very bright student. She was proficient in many languages: Hindi, English, Persian, Urdu, Telugu, and Bengali. She began writing fiction at the age of 12. She was called the Nightingale of India for her rhyme poems. Her poems cover a wide range of topics such as nature, love, death, patriotism, and everyday lives of the working class. Some of her most famous poems are Palanquin Bearers, Coromandel Fishers, Indian Weavers, The Bangle Seller, and In the Bazaars of Hyderabad. Following India's independence from British rule in 1947, Naidu was appointed as the governor of the United Provinces, present-day Uttar Pradesh, making her India's first woman governor. She remained in office until her death in March 1949. I'll recite the poem for you. From groves of spice over fields of rice, athwart the lotus stream, I bring for you, a glint with dew, a little lovely dream. Sweet, shut your eyes, the wildfire flies dance through the poppy neem. From the poppy bowl, for you I stole a little lovely dream. Dear eyes, good night. In golden light, the stars around you gleam. On you I press with soft caress a little lovely dream. The poem Cradle Song, written by Sarojini Naidu, is a lullaby, a quiet and gentle song which is sung to send a child to sleep. In the poem, the poet, who is a mother, is trying to lull her child to sleep. She uses ample of beautiful images to help the child visualize them and ultimately close his eyes. The poem has been divided into three stanzas having 6 lines each. The rhyme scheme of the poem is AABCCB. Children, you must have observed a pattern in the poem. This pattern, the rhyming pattern, is seen throughout the poem and it is called the rhyme scheme. I'll read out the stanza and explain it to you. From grooves of spice over fields of rice. If you observe, rice and spice are rhyming words. Athwart the lotus stream, I bring for you a glint with dew, a little lovely dream. The words stream and dream rhyme, and the words you and dew rhyme. The rhyme scheme of the poem is AABCCB. Children, I will explain each line sequentially so that you understand the poem well. Groves of spice mean group of trees and they're of spice, so they are fragrant. They have a wonderful aroma. From grooves of spice from the plants, and they're all green in color. Over fields of rice. The fields of rice, when they are close to the harvest time, they look golden, they look beautiful. Athwart the lotus stream. Athwart here refers to across. Across the lotus stream means we are traveling across it and it is having beautiful pink colored lotus flowers as they are shown in the picture. I bring for you a glint with dew, a little lovely dream. I bring for you, the mother is saying that I'm bringing for you, my child. A glint with dew is the shining dewdrops, and the dream is beautifully decorated with visual sensory images so that the child feels comfortable and relaxes well before going to bed. Sweet, shut your eyes. The mother is telling that the child is very sweet or close to the mother's heart. So she's telling the child that, sweetheart, you please shut your eyes. The wild fireflies. Fireflies are jugnu or glowworms. They shine at night. You can see them twinkling. They look like tiny stars on earth. Dance to the fairy neem. The fairy neem is a holy or a sacred plant, and the fireflies, they're dancing all over around it through the tree. From the poppy bowl. Poppy bowl is bright and colored flowers. For you I stole. And she's saying, for you I have stolen a little lovely dream. Absolutely picturesque, beautiful instances so that the child is lost in an imaginative world and can relax and sleep. Dear eyes, good night. So she tells the child that you're lost in the world of imagination. You can just close your eyes, shut your eyes, and she says good night. In golden light, the stars around you gleam. The stars are shining brightly, they're twinkling and they're shining brightly. On you I press with soft caress. So the mother is hugging the child, embracing the child, singing a lullaby so the child can sleep well. With soft caress, a little lovely dream. The mother bids goodbye to the child so that the child can sleep. Let me now reiterate the poem stanza wise. In the first stanza, the poet begins creating imaginations from different beautiful places. According to her, she has brought a little lovely dream with shining and glittering dews in the form of a beautiful song for her child from groves of spice and the field of rice and the stream full of lotus flowers. All these places are picturesque and quite attractive. The garden of spice is green and fragrant, the field of rice is golden, and the stream of lotus is pink. These all are sensory images which create a visual effect. Not only the child but the audience can feel the beauty of these places by reading the poem. In the second stanza, the poet asks the child to shut his eyes and dream wild fireflies which dance through the fairy neem. The neem tree is symbolized as a fairy either because it is considered holy and sacred in Hinduism or because it looks like a fairy in the night. The poet then says that she has stolen a little lovely dream from the poppy bowl, whose flowers are bright and colorful. The second stanza shows that the child is lost in the beautiful imaginations created by his mother for him. The images used, like fairy neem and poppy bowl, indicate the mother's desire for her child to have a sound sleep. Neem tree has medicinal properties and poppy plant has a sleep producing effect upon the eyes. In the third and the final stanza, the child is lost in the imaginations and ultimately gone to sleep. His mother now bids him a final good night in golden night laden with stars that are gleaming around him. The golden night can be simply the night which seems to be golden because of stars in the sky, or it can also refer to the dreams which a child will see after sleeping. She then presses her hand gently on him and wishes him to sleep as well as dream well. The poem can be summarized as a mother's song to her child. She creates visually beautiful images to make sure that the child has pleasant thoughts before falling asleep. She says that she carries a dream for the child from the fragrant spice groves and the rice fields. She describes the beautiful stream filled with lotus flowers which glisten with dewdrops, and across the stream she carries a dream for the child. The mother asks her child to shut his eyes and imagine the fireflies glowing in the dark and flying around the sacred neem tree. I hope you all have understood the poem. Happy learning. Stay home, stay safe.